Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about how to go outside of the scale. Throughout the whole course, I've been teaching you guys music theory within a single scale. And for genres like trap, hip hop, and pop, that's going to be more than enough. But there's other genres like R&B, lo-fi, and soul that go outside of the scales to give it a bit more interest. So in the next few videos, I'm going to show you guys a couple techniques to achieve this as well. You first have to realize that some scales are more closely related than others. For example, in the scale of C major, there are 0 sharps and 0 flats. Now in the scale of F major, there's only a single flat, right? Meaning that there's only a one-note difference between the two. And this is important because that means there's going to be some overlaps in their chord progressions. The 1 in C major is also the 5 in F major. The 2 in C major is also the 6 in F major. And so on and so forth. The F major is the same and the A minor is the same. Now if we compare a scale like C major with 0 sharps and 0 flats to a scale like B major, which has 5 flats, then you can see that they're not really related at all. You're not going to see any shared chords between these scales. So when we're leaving our scale, we're going to be borrowing chords from other scales. And it's important the scales we're borrowing from are closely related so that the changes aren't too jarring. So if I'm in the key of C major, borrowing a chord from something like F major is going to be a lot easier to resolve. So let's say we're in the key of C major. We can go 1, 4, 5, and then 1. So instead of that 5 chord, let's borrow a chord from the key of F major. And obviously we're borrowing chords that aren't present in C major already. So something like a G major or a B flat major or an E diminished are all good possibilities. Let's try the 2 of F major, which is the G minor. That sounds pretty good. Let's try the 4 of F, which is the B flat major. That sounds really good too. So let's say the chord progression we picked was the C, F, B flat, C. Now there's multiple ways that you can write this. You can notate it really straightforward. You know, if we're starting at C, this is the flat 7. So we'll say major flat 7. 1, 5, major flat 7, 1. Or we can notate it as a 4 of 4 because we are borrowing the 4 chord from our 4 chord. If we use the G minor, we can go 1, 4, minor 5, 1. Or we can go 1, 4, 2 of 4, and then 1. Because 2 of our 4. Another popular technique that people like to do is to borrow from the parallel key. And the parallel key is pretty much the relative major or minor. So the parallel key of C major is C minor. Let's say we're in the key of D major. A really popular chord progression that people use is the major 4, then the minor 4, and then the 1. And the reason this minor 4 works is because we're borrowing it from the parallel key. In D major, the 4 is major, but in D minor, the 4 is minor. We're moving from the major to the minor, and then we can end it on the 1. This is used in a lot of endings as an alternative to the 4-5-1. We can go 1, 6, 2, 4, 5, 1. But instead, we can go 1, 6, 2, 4, 5, 1. And this works on the 2 chord as well. We can go minor 2, then diminished 2, and then 1. And it's really nice if you add 7s to it as well. Now, in terms of using melodies outside of the scale, you have to be really careful with this one. If the chord isn't playing the note outside of the scale as well, there might be a lot of clashing. Let's say we're in the key of A harmonic minor, and this is going to be our melody. So the note that we used outside of the scale was the C sharp here. And the reason this sounds okay is because I'm playing the C sharp in the chords as well. It's a diminished flat 2. But if I was playing a chord that didn't have that C sharp, it would sound a lot worse. Let's say instead of this flat 2 diminished, I'm just playing a regular C major. So it's going to go 1, 2, 2. If we play that with the melody, so you can hear that there's just so much dissonance there, and it doesn't sound like there's harmonic support under it. So it's definitely okay to use melodies outside of the scale, just make sure that the harmony is following it. If the melody is leaving the scale on a really strong beat, then it's best to have harmonic support, but if it's on a weaker beat, like a passing note, then it's completely okay to do it by itself. And for passing notes, it's best to just go a semitone above or below the target note. And this is really good for a melodic genre like a lo-fi instrumental. Let's make a really fun jazzy melody in the key of C major. Our chord progression is going to be 1, and then 3, and then 2, and then 5, okay? And this is the melody I have. All right, really simple. let's replace a couple of those notes with chromatic passing notes. During this part of the melody, I'm going to replace this G with the G sharp because that's one semitone under the A. So the new melody is going to be like that. All right, and let's hear the whole thing. And if you play this G sharp and this D minor together, you can hear that they don't sound good together. That's why I'm using it as a passing tone only. And as long as you play it on the weak beats, you can hide these fun little colors in your melody. That's fun too. Definitely give this a try when you're making your next melody. This is definitely not needed for every genre, but if you're really into melodic music, this is something fun to try out.